By now a hugely successful West End star, John was to meet a man who would bring great stability and security to his hectic life. His partner of 18 years, architect Scott Gill.
John and I met in Chichester when he was doing a play called Rope back in 1993. And a great friend of mine, Howard Malin, said, there's these really cute guys in this play. So we went down and watched the show, and the lights went up, and there was John. And on stage, you get this huge personality that comes across, and I'm kind of in awe of it. I'm like, wow, who is that guy? But it's an amazingly engaging and attractive personality. And we met afterwards, and we just kind of clicked.
I turned around and I looked at him, and I knew that was the one. I knew that was him. And in my inside, again, I got that, oh, and I thought, I'm going to have to talk to this guy, and he's the one. That's the one I'm going to spend the rest of my time with. I just know it. And I thought, I'm never going to see him again. I went back to London after doing the play for a little while, and I was driving to an audition, and I saw him at a bus stop. And then I was in Soho driving to a meeting somewhere else, and there he was on the street. And then I was walking in Chinatown, and there he was walking past me. And I just said hello, because I got really flustered and nervous.
But he assumed that I was having a relationship with somebody else, and I thought, well, you know, he's got this huge career in TV and on stage and so on, so, you know, it's kind of out of my league anyway.
That was when I knew I had to date him. That was it. So then I made a date with Scott later. Cher had just been to see Sunset Boulevard. I mean, the fact that I'm sitting here telling you this, even to me, like goes, this is just bizarre.
Yes.
She hunted me down.
Cher did.
Cher did the next day through management, people, whatever, and they said, Cher wants to have dinner with you.
I bet she did.
I said, I can't have dinner with her. And there was dead silence at the end of the phone. What? I can't have dinner with Cher because I've got a date tonight with Scott. So they went, right, hold on. Click, on hold, over the other line. Apparently they were going and asking her, he's got a date, and he doesn't want to, break the date. This is a chance of a lifetime for me. I'm not talking about having dinner with Cher, but my date with Scott. And she says, the management comes back, and they said, fine. She says, bring him. And I drove my car. Scott rode his bike. Scott parked his bike down the street, and we all met up, and we had dinner with Cher, and we had a fab time. At the end of the evening, she said to me, walk me to my car, and she said, you'll love it. And I'm like, okay. So, I walked her to the car, and as we're walking to the car, arm in arm, the photographers just come out of the bushes, you name it. And we walk to the car, and she leans over into my ear, and she goes, when I get in the car, give me a kiss. I'm like, fine. What gay man wouldn't want to give Cher a kiss? So as I go to kiss her, she goes, and they catch it just at that moment. And the next day in the tabloids, I was her new toy boy. But little did they know, the boy with the bicycle who walked out after us went and unhooked his bike. I put her in a car, went off, got my Jag, opened the trunk, put his bike in the trunk, and I took him home. That would have been the story.
And
he stayed. He stayed 18 years now.
You now are in a civil partnership.
Correct.
Which you refused to call a marriage.
Well, I, for the longest time, refused. It goes back to the word marriage because it upsets a lot of people when we use that word. Now, I don't like to call it marriage myself, but what I don't want other people telling me is that I don't have the choice to call it a marriage. That's the reason Scott and I, partially because we love each other, but we also had our civil partnership because we wanted other people to see that two men, as two women, and as a man and a woman, can have a loving relationship and make a commitment.
Yes.
And that's what marriage is about. And it shouldn't matter if it's same-sex or mixed-sex marriages. And I do have to say, it's still a civil partnership. But the day we can get married, we will get married.
And again, this comes down to your faith in the higher power that is sending the only message which is of importance, which is love.
Yeah, it's a human right to be able to love openly and freely and express your love and show your love for somebody else.
And do you believe that love transcends everything?
Of course it does. Because, what was that line from? It's from Les Mis. To see the face of love is to see the hand of God. I'm misquoting it dramatically, but if you can love, then you are being godlike. Why not?
Why not?
It was nice, it was fun, you know, we had the families and friends around for a little ceremony in Cardiff, which lasted about 10 minutes, and then John had to go off and do panto, so it was all over by 11 o'clock.
His mum sang a beautiful song before the ceremony started, and then John walked in with the dogs. They were the bridesmaids. They came in, they looked lovely. And then after the toast, you know, we all stood up and gave a couple of words and just wished them all the luck and love in the world for their future. And then John went off to panto. Took his tights off, put another pair of tights on, and nobody blinked an eyelid. We went, OK, take care.
John's desire to work, even on his wedding day, is typical of his absolute commitment to his profession.
John really does grab every opportunity for work, so whenever an offer comes through, quite rare for him to turn it down. So he just loves to work. I mean, he lives to work. It's a huge thing for him to be busy, busy, busy all the time.
You have to work hard in the industry. I didn't come into the industry and into the business and to do what I do to become famous, but I knew in the back of my head that if fame came along with it, that was a blessing. That was something that I love it, okay? I adore it. And it's something I wake up every morning and love when someone recognizes me or wants an autograph. But for me, it was about working rather than being a star.
Back in 2005, another man arrived on the scene, and this one would send John's career intergalactic. He was tall, dark and handsome, and his name was Captain Jack Harkness.
Jack. Excellent bottom.
So, Ben, there's a time and a place.
Sorry, old man. I gotta go meet a girl. But you got an excellent bottom, too.
When we were setting up the very first series of the new Doctor Who, there was this character of Captain Jack. And we knew that the episode we met him in was a sort of 1940s episode. And so there was a sort of matinee idleness about that character that John just seemed to sum up.
Wish I'd never met you, Doctor.
And he came in and he was wearing motorcycle leathers. He came in to meet two gay producers in motorcycle leathers, so I think he knew what he was doing. But he walked in and he was literally the most handsome man I think I'd ever seen in my life. And we cast him in 20 minutes. It was amazing.
You cannot underestimate how big a fan of Doctor Who John was when he got that part. He heard about it in Covent Garden when he was with my daughter Claire, and he literally ran up a wall.
Captain Jack Harkness. I thought it was very refreshing to see a character, a lead character. He's, you know, omnisexual and, you know, explore men, women, cupboards, you name it, he explored it.
Captain Jack Harkness. And who are you?
Captain Jack Harkness, and who are you? Captain Jack Harkness.
Stop it!
Can I say hello to anyone?
John, I do not protest.
Captain Jack, an absolutely iconic hero. You've created him, and it is difficult. This is a sensitive and responsible figure you're playing because sexually...
Ambiguous.
That responsibility for a younger audience, do you feel that?
I don't feel a responsibility because kids are smart. And with Captain Jack, kids don't judge. And there was one instance where I realized that I was onto something really special. I was at a convention. I love to do them. I still go today. I do these conventions and I sign autographs and I meet the fans. And a little boy came up with his dad, and his dad said, are you sure you want Captain Jack's autograph? And he said, yeah, Dad, I don't care if he likes boys or girls. He's cool. That was it. That was it. And that was when I realized I don't have a responsibility. I just have to continue to do what I'm doing. I just have to continue to play Jack with passion. And kids will just clue into it, and they'll take out what they want from it. And that was exactly what this little boy had done.
In terms of Jack's sexuality, it was a really bold thing that Russell did, putting him right in the middle of a show at 7 o'clock.
So, Alonzo, going my way?
For young people to see a character who is such a positive role model, who is honest and decent and good and a hero, and for him to have a sort of an undefined sexuality, I think it's a really important thing to say.
How do you know my name? I'm kind of psychic.
Your sexuality doesn't make you a good or a bad person, maybe.
Know what I'm thinking right now?
Oh, yeah.
And John was really keen on that too. He was really excited about the opportunity to do that, I think.
Captain Jack has changed my life. Captain Jack has given me the career, the life, and the lifestyle that I always dreamt about and never thought that I would have. What also that Captain Jack has given me, it's given me fame, and I love it. I celebrate it every day. I cherish it, and I'm appreciative of it because I know that although I have fun playing Jack and being Jack, it's the audience who have given me that thing that I cherish and that I love and the life that I lead.
Fame means John is now a staple of our television screens, be it as a presenter, an actor, talent show judge, or making people's dreams come true in his Saturday night show, Tonight's the Night.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night, that tonight's gonna be a good night, that tonight's gonna be a good night.
You could be forgiven for thinking that this love affair with fame and the fiercely ambitious drive that took John from a theme park in the States to a Saturday night staple on BBC One means that John must have a ruthless side. But, breaking news, John Barrowman really is the nicest man in television. And it's his parents and their Christian values he has to thank for that.
My parents are Christians. My parents raised me to be a good person and be a kind person. And I think that also reflects in what I do. And making people happy, and particularly the shows that I have done.
Everyone has dreams, and on this show, I actually make your dreams come true.
But it's just the sense of doing something nice for somebody.
It's you, Pearl!
John Barrowman was always going to be an entertainer in some form or another. He was going to be either on the stage or the screen, or a presenter or a writer, or something that allows him to make other people feel good.